Educators with Oil podcast, where we provide educators with strategic insights grounded in biblical principles for effective teaching. At the Educators with Oil podcast, we are committed to creating a vibrant and supportive community for educators, especially those with a foundation in faith. Our mission is to provide a platform where teaching excellence and Christian principles intersect. Through insightful conversations, practical tips, and inspiring stories, we aim to empower educators to make a positive impact in the lives of their students. Join us on this journey of learning, growth, and the shared joy of shaping minds and spirits for a brighter tomorrow. We all know that biblical wisdom provides a strong moral and ethical foundation for educators. So those that use biblical wisdom, that follow biblical wisdom, a biblical foundation, you know that is the basis, the foundation for your moral and ethical beliefs, of an educator. So I have a question. How often do we pause to explore the depths of our own identity, courageously confront our own mistakes, and navigate the intricate tapestry of what it truly means to be human? You know, as I know, I'm looking at this glare of this light on my glasses, and it's that ring is like shining on my glasses. I backed up a little bit, so I know. See that's being human, right? I had to pronounce that human because my family laughs at me and my sister how we say human. So I have to consciously say human. I grew up saying human, and my sister says human, and we say human. So that is something. Being human is making mistakes. It is recognizing who we are. We have to get those I am statements and understand who we are, and we are not our mistakes. We have to recognize who we are. What is the question? We have to understand what it means to be human. I remember my boss, I was talking to my boss about some things, and she was like, "So you're a perfectionist, huh?" No, I'm not a perfectionist. Maybe that's something that comes from being a teacher. I don't know if you call it being a perfectionist or not. I'm not a perfectionist. I know I'm not perfect, but there's things that I want a certain way. I want it to come out a certain way. And when it doesn't, it's like, oh my God, I failed, or I did it. I missed that mark so badly when I probably didn't. I probably got it or was touching it, but I do have an issue with that. And that is something that I have to understand about being human, that we make mistakes. And I had to face a reality last week, and it bothered me the whole weekend up until today, up until lunchtime today. When I say up until today, starting from Thursday afternoon around 3 o'clock till today around 1 o'clock. That is a long time. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So I'm saying today, that's going to be Tuesday. So on Monday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 4 days I was bothered by something when I am human. When I had to face my reality, I had to face who I am. Somebody called me, said you are irresponsible. Because I'm working on my I am statements, I snapped back. I kind of was, you know, where I'm like, I am not irresponsible. I made a mistake, or I did something that was a little bit irresponsible. It wasn't even a lot irresponsible. It just was what it was. It was a mistake, and I made it in conjunction with how do you say it? In conjunction with few things that had to happen in order to get to me to that point. And then my thinking, the way my thinking works, and then I had to even talk to other people about their thinking. What would they have thought? Then one person said, I said, well, what would you have done? All the teachers, included that I talked to, they would have assumed what I assumed. So that's what I'm talking about, making those assumptions. Did I get there yet? That's not even part of the question. Confronting our mistakes. So we have these, our mind is filtered through our experiences. We know that, right? So what you think and what I think could be different. We may think of the same thing, the same scenario, come up with the same explanation for something, but at the same time, it's still filtered through our life experiences that we really don't think the same. We may come to the same conclusion, but we didn't get there the same way. No matter what, things that pass through our minds or things that are we are unconsciously um, aware of that our habits are automatic because we've been doing this for so long or doing that for so long that things in our mind just okay, this is that. The way I operate, the way all the teachers thought the same thing that I did, but one teacher in particular, she would have done something different. She would have thought what I thought, came to the conclusion that I came to, but she would have went back and double checked. I'll tell you what it is in a minute, but I just want to say our assumptions can be a problem for us. You know, our I am statements, who we know we are, you know, our own identity, who do we identify as, you know, we are not a sum total of our mistakes. We are not the sum total of one mistake. We are not the sum total of our successes. Because who we are is I am a teacher, but that's just a little piece. That's like a nickname, as I heard. I have this mindset class that I take, and he's like, "Your name is Ronette, but that's just your nickname. You are inside of this body. You know, your mind and your spirit and your soul is who you are." And so it's everything that I am is kind of filtered through this body, my eyes, natural eyes, and my life experiences. So who I am, it depends. It could be situational. You know, it could be situational. I am a mother. I am a daughter. I am a grandmother. And now I'm a great grandmother. So there are things. I am a teacher. I am a woman, right? I am a single woman. Whatever, you know, whatever I am, I had my family, friends to say, make a list for me of who they think I am. What do they think I'm good at? What do they think I'm skilled at? They all, man, I wish I would have brought it out here because it is, I don't want to run back and go get it. I have to cut and then go back. But everybody said about basically the same thing, right? It's so funny because things that I didn't think of, they thought of. One thing they all said is I have a gift to gab and that I am strong. And that was like, oh, everybody thinks that? You know, so this is the persona. This is what I am exuding. So that is something. So I want to talk about really fast, really quickly, get through the power of I am statements based on what the Bible says. I am statements are positive affirmations that declare our identity, purpose, and positive qualities. So you're going to make I am statements based on your identity, who you say you are, who you know you are, you know, even who the parts of you that people think you are, right? And then your purpose. What are you here for? I am here to just so I'm giving you that again to provide creating a vibrant, supportive community for educators, especially those with the foundation in faith. So I provide educators with strategic insights grounded in biblical principles. So that's who I am here. This is what I do. This is part of who I am. And so then going by that, and then my positive qualities, I'm not going to say I am a negative person. I am sorry. I am irresponsible. I am, you know, whatever bad thing that I can think or think that I have done, because it's not who I am. It might be something that I have done. This me using this body, what I have done is not who I am. It's a thing. It's an action. But who I am is deep down, you know. So Proverbs 18:21, the tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. So we have to think when we're thinking of positive, when we're thinking of I am statements, and we want to say declare who we are. Don't say, "Oh, I'm so stupid. I'm so bad. I'm so ugly. I'm so this negative thing, this opposite thing of the direction you're trying to go." Don't say that. Speak life, because you become who you say you are. I am that I am. That's what God says. He said, Moses said, "Who should I say sent me?" He said, "I am that I am." So it's not that he couldn't explain himself or who he was. It's just that he is so much, and you can't even contain it in a word. And you can't even contain who you are in a word. You're walking with God in you. You are. I am is inside of us. So is a part of us. You know, like Jesus was part man and part God. We are that. He made us in his image. And there was no body to make in his image, but our personality, our style, our who we are. We are creators. All of that is who we are, and that is something we have to positively, absolutely state every day. My homework from my coach is to spend 10 minutes with myself every day, speaking to myself. I am statements. I have a bunch after towards the end that I will give you. I don't even have to wait. I could give you a couple right now. An example: I am a source of inspiration to myself and others. That's me. I am confident in my abilities and talent. Yes, I am. I am surrounded by love and support. You know, sometimes we don't think, excuse me, I'm trying to see what's what. Okay, I think I got that light a little bit off my glasses. Uh, You know, sometimes we're like, "I'm not loved, nobody loves me," or all this kind of nonsense. It doesn't matter if there's no person here who loves you. You are surrounded by God. God is in you and around you. So you can always say, "I am surrounded by love and support." God supports us. He directs our feet. He directs our path. So how can he not support what he's directing? So I am a positive force in the lives of those around me. I am deserving of self care, and nurturing my well-being. Oh my God, I am deserving. I deserve to take the time to take care of myself. That's just what it is. I am creative, and my ideas have value. You know, sometimes we get into situations, we shrink ourselves, and that's a problem. That's a problem. We get into a situation, we shrink ourselves instead of being who we are. We come up with reasons and things, and I am not this and I am not that. Mm. I'm trying. I'm sorry, people. Trying to get these lights right. Okay, and so we shrink ourselves. You don't have to shrink yourself. You know who you are. I am that I am, and you know things that are valuable that you can do. Stand in that. You don't have to. Every time you meet new people, you have to shrink up and don't say who you are. Don't be who you are. Be who you are and shine. You don't have to start over every time you meet somebody. That's something that I have been guilty of, where I had to start all over every single time. Every single time. You know, like people don't know me, and I'm just acting like I'll let them lead and I'll let them go, and I won't even speak up for who I am and what I know in a conversation. I'll sit back and don't want to exude that uh, dominant dominance or that assertiveness. I just want to relax. But no, be who you are. You go into a situation, God placed you there to be who you are. People need who you are. So that's another thing. Matthew 20:12 and 37. For by your words you will be acquitted, and by your words you will be condemned. Use your words to speak positively of yourself. Do not doubt yourself. Do not say, "I am guilty." You know, "I am guilty of this crime." Not to mention, Jesus died for your sins, so then you could ask God to forgive you, and you will not be guilty anymore. I'm not saying you killed somebody and you're not guilty, but even then, you don't even have to. You know, you could condemn yourself with that, right? So I have Ephesians 4:29. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. Remember, I said I am. What did I say? Where is it? I said I am a source of inspiration to myself and others. I'm confident in my abilities and talents. So I have to use this wholesome talk of who I am to build others up. Um, I have something. One more I'm going to give. I have a bunch. Like you can find a bunch of I am statements right out of the Bible. Um, Psalms 19 and 14. This is one that we used to say all the time. We're trying to leave church, and this is what we're saying. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of this meditation of my heart be pleasing in your sight, Lord, my rock and my redeemer. So this is something we can pray every day. We can say it out loud, but we can say the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart will be pleasing in God's sight. Or let it be pleasing in your sight, God. My rock and my redeemer. Who is my rock and my redeemer? So we have things that we could work on. And so I just want to say, who we are. We reflect on, use a biblical perspective on our affirmations. The self perception emphasizes the alignment of one's thoughts and the words with God's truth. So make sure when you are saying who you are, you're lining up with God's words, like I just did. You line it up with God's words. You don't walk around talking about this negative. You have a purpose. Walk in that purpose, and guess what? As you walk in that purpose, you're going to speak towards that purpose. You're going to speak towards who you are. Sometimes we get around people and we get used to. We're trying to grow to another level, and we're learning this self-talk. We're understanding this self-talk that's happening in our mind all the time. We're always speaking to ourselves. So make sure you're speaking right. So then, what happens is sometimes if you're learning, like I have a coach. I don't know, forgot what kind of a mindset coach, right? And so he's teaching us the self-talk, this self-love, this standing up in your identity, right? As you are, as God says you are, right? So sometimes we could speak the wrong things, or we could condemn ourselves to something. And I forgot where I was going with that. But, just know it has to line up with God's word, who God says you are. And then knowing we are not our mistakes. So when you line up with God's word, acknowledge the universal experience of making mistakes. Do I think I'm the only one who made a mistake? I had the situation on Thursday. One of my students had an accident during lunch. And so when I already picked the students up, I'm looking for my student, right? I'm like, where is this child? The kid said he had an accident. So I, right there, assume, we're going to talk about assumptions in a minute, assume he's one place because he had an accident, so he has to be there. Like, what? He wasn't. Then it's come time for us to leave. He wasn't. He had an accident. He went to help him, I guess, clean himself up. I'm not sure. But I was missing him. And then we found him, but it was like I assumed. So our assumptions make us think that we are the only person who's making this mistake, and everybody's watching us. Everybody's looking at, the world doesn't revolve around you. The world doesn't revolve around me. So why do I think everybody's thinking about me all the time? Maybe it's somebody's close to me, and we discuss the situation, and then they're worried about me, and they don't know. See, sometimes, like, I'm in a new school. People don't know me that well, where they could call me, because, like, and say, hey, are you okay? Or I was thinking about you. And then instead of waiting all weekend to worry about me all weekend, right? So we have these things, these assumptions that other people would not have made the mistake that we did. We assume we know what other people are thinking. We are doing all these assumptions. And so emphasize that mistakes are part of being human. They're a part of our journey. There's no way you can do everything perfectly every single time. There's no way. There's something you can get it right. You could, like, learn how to shoot a gun, and all of a sudden they say point and shoot, and you made it right through the bullseye, right? Maybe you did that. Maybe you did it time after time because you were strong enough to control your gun, aim and control your gun, because they taught you everything in the beginning, and you didn't have to make any mistakes. I made so many mistakes. I believe I shot off of the paper. I know I shot outside of the bullseye. I know I kept shooting to the left and down every single time because I would tighten up. And so different things, mistakes. I'm a person, and let them shape our, and don't let these mistakes to shape our self-perception. You are more than your mistakes, because nobody makes continual mistakes every day. I watched this movie with who? My grandkids. I'm not sure. Maybe it was a cartoon. I can't even think of what it's called. But the little girl, the girl in the story, she's a lady. Everything she did, there was a mistake attached to it. There was something bad that happened to it. Like she had the worst luck, you know. And then I don't know how she got out of it. I can't remember. But everything, if she her toes popped out, her toaster popped up, and then out. Then she put jelly on her bread, and then something fell. She fell doing getting something. Then the jelly landed face down on with the bread face down. Everything that she did. She went to go to work. Her bike had a flat tire. That's just everything that was like that. So to discuss. Oh, we also have to know that you remember David in the Bible. He was the apple of God's eye. You know how many mistakes he made. He just was a mistake maker. He just was. And so we have to discuss because God is a forgiver and he redeems us the role of forgiveness and redemption in our lives, and as it relates to us, it just does. And Christian faith has profound implications of how individuals perceive themselves, so you have to understand God is a forgiver. You have to be a forgiver. You have to forgive yourselves when you make mistakes. Say, okay, I bet you I won't do that again. You don't have to worry about me making that mistake. I might make another mistake, but I won't make that mistake again. That kind of stuff. And I just want to, and then we have to embrace our wholeness. Our wholeness goes beyond our roles, right? Or our mistakes. It goes beyond that. We are not just a mother. We are not teachers. We are not just educators. We are more than that. Because outside, in the summertime, am I a teacher? No. Maybe I teach some things, but I am not a teacher in a classroom in the summertime. No, I'm not. So we have different things that make us up, and it's not just our role or our mistakes. If I make a mistake and I fall, am I a faller? I don't know how you could say it. Am I clumsy just because I fell? No, that's just something that happened, something that I did. So we have to have empathy and compassion for ourselves and for others. And as we forgive ourselves, we know when somebody else makes a mistake, we could be like, that's something anybody could have done. My teacher associates, they are like, that's not on you, or that's not your fault. This is what I would have thought too. They come up with, we can help each other out. We will fight for each other or give each other some moral support. Even if we think we're wrong, we'll say, but that's what you thought, because I would have thought that, but maybe I would have did a little bit different. That kind of stuff. We offer that. So we have to know that we are rich and complex. Our human identity, it goes beyond that. We're multifaceted. We have diverse dimensions that contribute to our identity, including emotional, intellectual, spiritual, relational, vocational. Our emotions, we get happy, we're sad. So if right now, I say I'm happy, right? Am I going to be happy forever? No. If I'm sad, am I sad? So that if I say I am sad, that means this is who I am. And then it's going to take me a while to get up out of that because I have grabbed hold to that identity. You know how we say I am depressed? We grab hold to that and we hold on to it. It's hard to get rid of it until you declare you are something else. That is some spiritual things. And intellectual. I've had education. I've been in school and I'm continually being educated. That's how I'm able to stand here today, because I'm continually being educated. So that's another part of me. I'm an educated person. I'm an emotional person. I am a spiritual person. I pray. I talk to God, and this is about spirituality and my relational, who I'm related to. In relational aspects of other people, my friends, my family, my co-workers, any associates. I am something different to each one of those people. I am a girls trip partner for some people, right? I'm a girls trip associate, girls trip friend to certain women, right? I am a co-worker to others. I'm a friend to others. I'm a mother, a cousin, that. And my vocational, I'm a teacher. I'm an inspiration to others. I I'm a motivator, right? I am a speaker. I'm all that. So we have to emphasize, that we each have unique roles. Our identity plays unique roles in shaping of who we are. So many. We are 100% multifaceted. Multifaceted. That's how we are made in the image of God. You know, Jesus wept. He cried. When Lazarus died. I think that's when. He was emotional when they were um, selling and exchanging money in the temple when they were supposed to be making sacrifices. They decided instead of making their real true sacrifices, they were coming to the temple and buying and selling sheep and goats. And it really wasn't their first fruit, their first, best lamb and all that. They were buying some, and that was desecration of the temple. So we can talk about our challenging assumptions. You know, we make assumptions about people and ourselves, and we're going to talk about the assumptions, the impact of assumptions on our teaching relationships. So I have this is like two steps. Did I say this is the title of this is called? Huh? Let me see. The title of this episode is Embracing Wholeness, Unveiling the Power of I Am Statements. We got a lot. We have a lot. So we make assumptions in our daily life. So I had two people talking to me about different things about assumptions. Who I can't even figure who that was, and then somebody else is talking about I am statements, and it all came full circle for me on Thursday because I really didn't know what I was going to talk about, but this is it. The assumptions, the mistakes, who we are, all of that. So we have assumptions, mind reading assumptions. We don't go talk to somebody because we know what they're going to say. We don't know what they're going to say because we didn't ask them. We don't know what they're going to say because we don't know what's happening in their mind, right? So we have to talk about the tendency to believe that we can accurately predict what others are thinking or feeling. We cannot. I know people say to me, "What's wrong with you?" And it's nothing. I'm just sitting there thinking about something. I'm not even paying attention probably to what's happening. I have all this stuff running around in my head that I have to do, that I want to do, that I'm thinking of doing, making plans in my head. So if I look like I'm just all upset, I'm not. Sometimes I'm just thinking about a plan. And then we have assumptions about the outcomes. We think we know if I do this, this is what's going to happen. If I go to work today, people are going to be upset with me. Nobody's upset. Nobody's thinking about you. Everybody has their own plans, their own agenda. We're comparison assumptions. We have the habit of comparing ourselves to others, assuming that others have it better than we have it. And sometimes that's farther from the truth. We look at people and they look like they have so much money. We look at somebody that look like they have it all together. They have the same job as us and they have more things than us. We can't assume that they have it better. Some people are married and some people are not. Just because you're not married and somebody else is married, that doesn't mean they have a better life than you because they have a spouse. That doesn't mean I have a better life than you because I don't have a spouse. Don't assume. And labeling. Oh my goodness. Well, limited information. Like I told you, the lady said I was irresponsible. She labeled me right there. She just labeled me. This is who she is. Put this label on her. I'm not going to think of anything else about her except that. No, don't label people. Don't label. Some people are, you might say, annoying. So every time you see them, you're going to feel annoyed because you have labeled them annoying. You see somebody, you label them happy. Every time you see them, they're going to seem happy to you, even if they're not. That's because you put a label and you're locking them into that. And that's when you look to them, that's what you see. Because we see what we're looking for. Always. Consistency assumptions. So we have consistency of behavior, expecting people to always act in a certain way. You're always going to look for me at work to be happy and jolly. If I'm not, it's going to feel strange. Like, what? What's going on with her? Or somebody's always looking sad or something, or always just looking melancholy, stoic, right? And then you see them, they're really happy, like, ooh, I know something great must have happened to them. No, because they're not this who you label them as, and not that. Sometimes people act differently in different situations. You don't know what they went through, what happened, what change happened. And then motivation assumptions. Oh, that is something for real. We say, I know she did that because she didn't like me. I know she did that because she loved me. I know he did that because he did that for me because he wouldn't do that for anybody. No, he did that because it's his job. She did that because it's her job, or she didn't do it because she didn't like you, or she didn't do it because she did like you, or whatever the situation. We don't know what motivates people. I'm motivated intrinsically for a lot of things. It has nothing to do with anybody outside. So, we can't know what's behind somebody's actions, and we shouldn't. So, we have to challenge these behaviors. So, we have to reflect, challenge by self reflecting on our own assumptions, see if they're realistic, be open and honest, have open and honest communications with other people, clarifying those assumptions. Have a conversation. Look, I thought you did this because you were trying to act funny. Just because you were upset because I got my name called first, or I got a certificate for this. This person is always calling my name, so now I think you did that. They were not thinking, they did what they thought was best at the time. So you have a open communication with the people. Don't assume something. You know, uh, and have cultivate empathy based on these assumptions. Like, we have to have empathy for others and ourselves, because you got to put yourself in your own shoes. But if something happens with somebody, feel for them. Put yourself in their shoes and have empathy. Don't just assume people are um doing something a certain way. Just think about, if that was me, well, how would I feel? Let me feel how they might feel, so I could think about them a little differently. And always be continually learning. So that you can stay open to new information. We won't have to assume. I'm trying to think of who was talking about assumptions. Like somebody, and it's like this was right on time. This had came with my putting together my work, and I'm trying to think of who that was talking about assumptions. We operating on assumptions, and so then remember to keep these I am statements in our lives. I'm going to challenge you the same way my coach is challenging me to spend 10 minutes a day with myself, talking to myself. I am statements, talking to myself. That's self talk. You don't even have to say I am statements, but I am statements is a great way to start it off. Then you could even talk to yourself about your plans and things like that. Things that you want to do. Why are you not doing what you want to do? Or how can you do what you want to do? So I'm admonishing everybody to spend 10 minutes a day. And also, I want to go next week live. I'm going to push this because I want people to come on here with me and discuss these I am statements and these assumptions and these mistakes. And the mistakes are not who we are. So next week, next Tuesday, I want to go live with people talking about this. So I just want to, before I log off, I want to remind you to subscribe and like and share the podcast, whether it is on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or any podcast station like Apple. I don't know if we're on Apple, but there's so many that we're on. I clicked on a few and then I shared them. So like Amazon, I'm definitely on Amazon. There's another one I just found. So any your favorite podcast station, look for Educators with Oil, and I want to say the Educators with Oil podcast. That's it, because I listened to I forgot his name, but he has the Black Business School. I can't think of what his name is right now. He said he was told that you have to put the in front of everything to make it, a little bit better. So I am resilient. I am capable of overcoming challenges. I am a continuous learner, always seeking knowledge and growth. I am deserving of love and kindness. I am confident in my abilities. I am the source of inspiration to others. I am worthy of success and accomplishments. I am compassionate toward myself and others. I am creative and open to new possibilities. I am valuable and unique. I am a valuable and unique individual. I am grateful for the abundance in my life. I am a positive force for change in the world. I am in control of my thoughts and emotions. I am surrounded by love and support. I am making a difference in my own life and the lives of others. I am kind to myself, especially in times of difficulties. I am resilient, and setbacks only make me stronger. I am a lifelong learner, embracing opportunities for growth. I am mindful of the present moment, finding joy in small things. I am mindful of right now. I am mindful of the present moment, finding joy in small things. Joy in getting this out here. I'm confident in my ability to create a positive future. Let me see if I found one. I am deserving of success and happiness. Um, Let me see. I am creative and my ideas have value. I am open to new opportunities and embrace change with positivity. I am deserving of self care and nurturing my well being. I am worthy of love and respect. I am making a positive impact on the world around me. I am empowered to create the life I deserve. I am surrounded by positive energy and good vibes. I am in control of my thoughts and choose positivity. This is my favorite one. This is the best one that I have said today. I am in control of my thoughts and choose positivity. Repeat that after me. I am in control of my thoughts and choose positivity. So you don't have to think things you don't want to. You know things across your mind, but do you have to dwell on those things? No. Again, I am Ronette Branham. Oh wait, let me get it. I am Ronette Branham, and in this message of embracing wholeness, unveiling the power of I am statements. That is who you are. You say who you are, and you stand on it, and you become who you are. You are who you are. Don't say I am something that's taking you in the opposite direction of where you want to go. Don't do it. Uh, so again, this is Ronette Branham with the Educators with Oil podcast, where we provide educators with strategic insight grounded in biblical principles for effective teaching. And I am so happy that you decided to come and see me. Again, I am going to be looking forward to going live next week. Somebody coming on with me, some people coming on with me, some people tuning in and commenting live about this subject, because this is a subject that we all can relate to. There's no person who cannot relate to this subject about embracing who I am and the power of I am statements and challenging our assumptions. So thank you again for joining me at the Educators with Oil podcast. Again, I am Ronette Branham, and have a blessed day.